Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, can you hear me now? I'll ask the question in the chat too. That's because. Oh, good, good. Thank you for telling me that, Jessica. I just had to add the other camera to the stream. Okay, so hi, Lisa. Good. So hi, welcome in. So my question to the chat is, how many of you keep art journals? How many of you keep an art journal? Answer yes or no in the chat. How many of you keep an art journal? So this is, and just go ahead and answer yes or no in the chat. So this is a new art journal I got that I'm going to start. I'm starting for the month of September, because you know what? September is like it's like starting a new year for me. Because, okay, so Jessica does not keep an art journal. So I wonder if Lisa does. So also September. Oh, Lisa keeps an art journal. So for me, September's like oh, hi, Lori. Lori is Shiva B. Welcome in, welcome in. So for me, September's like a new year, because I was a student for so long, and then I was a teacher for 25 years. So for me, September's like new beginning for me. And I started a new self-care art journal. Self-care art journal. And I wanted, so here's an example of what I did a few days ago. Now I probably just a few times a week I will work in here, and it involves, and I want to keep a record. So it's like, I want to be able to look back on this and be able to read what I wrote of what was happening. So I dated it. So what was happening on September 2nd, and I can read, like, this was weekly highlights. This was just right over here with like things I was thinking and feeling that week. And here is what ifs. See, in my mind, here's the way it's self-care art journaling. It's because in my mind, I do all this what ifs, and what if the bad stuff, you know, expecting the bad stuff. What if this bad thing happens? What if that negative thing happens? And what if like that? And here I turned it around, and this is part of self-care art journaling. I turned it around and did what if all these good things happen? What if it's a wonderful experience? What if things work out really well? What if, see, and then that's a little example of self-care art journaling. And then here, this was last week. Last week, I created an image of my own version of Wonder Woman. It says Wonder Woman on her headband, because I created my own version of Wonder Woman as a way of empowerment, because, you know, your fears and anxieties make you feel so unempowered, so scared. You don't feel empowered when you feel scared, right? So the type of imagery you create can also help empower you, feel empowered, and or be soothing to you, or so they can make you, the kind of imagery you make in your art journal can also help empower you, make you feel, soothe your nerves, make you feel better if you feel down and things like that. So the words, what you write, and also the imagery can help you. This is all part of self-care art journaling. And here I have an owl for the symbol of wisdom. And so this is what I did last week. And the materials I use, this is mixed media paper, so it takes water media very well. And I use wax pastels, Caran d'Ache. That's a very good brand, of wax pastels. It's water activatable. I know that's not a word. It's water activatable. Okay, I can't even think of the word. So it's Caran d'Ache wax pastels, and they go on, like, they look like crayon when they go on, and then you wet them either with a baby wipe or a wet paintbrush to activate them, to make them look like paint. So I did that all. I've used them a few times this time. Oh yeah, did I get them out? Oh, today I want to use my gouache / watercolors. They're Japanese watercolors, and they tend to be on the opaque gouache side, and that's what I'm going to use, because I've been using wax pastels a lot. So Oh, I don't want to go there. My camera goes crazy when it sees white. That's why I had to do this red on my background page already. So I have a question. Thank you for answering my first question to the chat. My second question to the chat is, how many of you are following along today? I hope so, either just even on a single piece of paper or your art journal. Because I have, besides what I just told you, I just told you 2 techniques for self-care art journaling, what I've done in the past week already. But I have another technique. I have another technique to show you for self-care art journaling. And I have to give a shout out to Amy Maricle. She's linked down below in the description box. Her YouTube channel is called Amy Maricle, not Miracle, Maricle. And she had a very good video on self-care art journaling. And I got inspired by a few of her techniques. I'm going to show you one of her techniques today. And I mentioned one already previously with the self-care imagery, how you can do self-empowering imagery, or imagery to make you feel better. Okay, answer in the chat, yes or no. How many people are following along today? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'd love to know. And while I wait to hear from you, let's see. Yeah, this is kind of like the weekly wind down kind of thing. So I do want to go over the first thing I'm going to do is go weekly highlights. I want to date this, because I am using this as a kind of thing to look back on, to see how I was feeling like a month ago, and then how things have progressed and gotten better. Yay, Lisa's following along. Yay. So I dated it, and I'm going to, you could do your date, like maybe do your weekly highlights, just a few highlights that happened to you this week, that like the best parts of your past week. What were the best parts of your week this past week, or just for today, or any other kind of writing that you want to do, but I'm trying to give you ideas. Okay. Oh, that's okay, Lori. So I hope you stick around. I hope you stick around for a while, though. Weekly highlights. And I'm going to, before I do weekly highlights, I did want to show you a technique, this other technique for focusing and soothing your nerves and helping you to focus. And you're going to and I got this technique from Amy Maricle, and I linked her down below in the description box. Amy Maricle, and let's see, I'm going to make a box for this technique. Maybe I'll use this technique on half of my maybe a third of my paper. And I got this technique from her, and you're going to think this technique is really simple, like too simple, like unbelievably weird, so simple. It's drawing straight lines, and not with a ruler. It's drawing a series, either fill up a whole page, or I'm only going to fill up a third of the page. And I think I'll change the thicknesses. It's just drawing straight lines across, filling up a whole page, a half a page, a third of a page. Yeah, even though I've done hundreds of live streams, well, I think it's around 100. It could be give or take a few, because I started live streaming March of 2019, that I still have nerves. So I was dealing with my nerves today. I know what birthday live stream you're talking about. It's Jessica. So I probably will only go for, I'm only going to go for like 45 minutes to close, maybe 55 minutes, 45 to 55 minutes today. And I might change the time I do it. If I do this every Sunday, like I'm calling this Serenity Art Sunday series, if I do this every Sunday, I am thinking of maybe switching it to 2 o'clock. Because I think I know Jessica has her live stream every Sunday at 4. Hi, John. How are you doing? So I'm doing I'm showing everybody another technique for self-care art journaling with drawing straight lines. I know. Not using any ruler or anything, and going slowly. Oh, well, you should get out a piece of paper, John. John, get out a piece of paper. This will help you. I know it looks so silly. I didn't come up with this technique. An art therapist that I just watched a video recently shared this technique of drawing these straight lines. I know it looks ridiculously simple, but it's supposed to help with calming your nerves and for focus. You could fill up a whole page or half a page. And I'm switching the thicknesses of my pen just to make it a little bit visually interesting. You're welcome, John. And the other techniques we're doing is writing and also empowering imagery. So I'm testing out how this works for me because I just discovered this technique recently from an art therapist. I mean, I watched one of her videos and she shared this technique, and I like this. I think I like this technique. I'm trying this out for the first time. It helps if you go slower. Slower you go, it feels more soothing the slower you make the lines. And I finished. I'm only going to do a third of my page. So I'm going on to weekly highlights. So this was one of the self-care art journaling techniques I just shared with you. Next thing, I'm going on to weekly highlights. Okay. Just a moment, I need some water. So John, writing can help you too. But being an artist is not required for these techniques. Oh God, I'm trying to think of a highlight. Well, the weather was really nice. I love the weather of September. How many of you like the weather of September? Did you ever notice the weather of September is beautiful? Let me know in the chat, yes or no. Do you like the weather of September? That's one of my weekly highlights. Let me know in the chat. Answer yes or no. Hi, Red. Yeah, everybody loves the weather of September. I love it. It's my favorite month of weather, I think. And October's nice too. It just starts to get a little bit more chilly. So Ah, that's nice, Red. That's nice, Red. So I already shared some self-care art journaling techniques for those people that came late. I hope they... Oh, you're chatting on your phone. When's your birthday, John? We have another birthday person in here. Jessica's birthday is tomorrow, but she's celebrating it today. It's hard for me to think and talk and do this live stream at the same time. I'm trying to think of my weekly highlights. Ah, September 2nd. Oh, belated happy birthday to you. I wonder if Rebecca's here. Is Rebecca Fancy Pants here? No, I didn't see her say hello in the chat, but she said she was going to follow along if she could. I'm gonna leave. Oh, on the 14th. My mother's was on the 18th. Oh, hi, Rebecca. Nice to know that you're here. Thanks for saying hi in the chat. Oh, okay, Red. Mine's in December. Okay, more weekly highlights. Oh, I have 2 weekly highlights. Oh, the other thing about art journal, self-care art journaling for self-care is having your art journal be a place for your having a place for your inner child artist to have a place for your inner child artist to play and not always be concerned about the product, like a beautiful, pretty product. So instead of trying to always be concerned about the outcome of the product, of the art product that you're trying to make, trying to always be sure that in your art journal, yes, sometimes you want to have beautiful art journal pages and spreads and create beautiful art journal pages and spreads, but other times you should leave your art journal open to play. Like it's like your own playground of playing where you experiment with colors and techniques. And in fact, you could have a separate art journal or sketchbook just for that, with trying out techniques. So I have speech chat going on in my ear, so it throws me off when I'm trying to talk. So, oh gosh, what was I just saying? Who can remind me what I was just saying? I was talking about, your art journal as a playground for your inner child artist. So in your art journal, you don't always want to be concerned with the finished product is beautiful. Sometimes in your art journal, you just want to play and experimenting with techniques, experimenting with color schemes. For me, so I have different art journals for different purposes. Like if I wanted to have an art journal that I want to experiment in, I would actually I might do a little experimentation in this, but I would probably keep a separate sketchbook or art journal just for like that, just being for experiments with techniques and colors. In this art journal, it's about weekly highlights, daily highlights. maybe writing out feelings, cathartic, doing art therapy techniques like this one I showed you, and imagery that's empowering to soothe you and make you feel better, like I showed here. This one I created for the empowering impact of the image. This is Wonder Woman. So this was created for the empowering impact of it. So I want to be able to look back on this and actually read what I was thinking about and going through at different stages in time. So that was like September 2nd, and now I'm here. So I suggest that you might want to keep different kinds of art journals and sketchbooks for different reasons. I was just keeping it very simple today. I showed you a few techniques. Yeah, pink hair. Yeah, pinkish red. Well, pinkish red hair like mine. Yep. I'm trying to see if this camera is working properly today, because last time it was like stop action motion. Okay, I think it's working. It's working better than before. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, I forgot to do deep breaths. If anybody would like to follow along with me, I meant to start this with deep breaths. 3 deep breaths. And then the third breath. Oh, I forgot to count for you. Third breath. Hi, Timmy. Hey, Timmy, welcome. Welcome in. What's congratulations for? Okay, now I'm doing doodling. And I'm leaving a space here because when the stream is over, I'm still going to write down maybe 1 or 2 more weekly highlights. Oh, also, and pinned in the messages is if you want to join my art Facebook group. It's a Facebook group that I've had for many years actually, and for like a year I wasn't doing anything with the group, but recently, about a couple months ago, I reactivated. I started getting activated in my Facebook art group again. It's pinned in the chat if you would like to join. I'm doing fine, Timmy. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. My question to the chat earlier was, do you keep an art journal? Do you currently keep an art journal? Look who's here. Look who's here. Davey. Davey's our special guest on Tuesday. He does awesome art. He's our special guest on Tuesday. We're gonna do art together and chat. Paint and chat together. Davey coming to us from the UK. How many of you do? Oh, hi, Adam. Adam, hi, Adam. Welcome. Welcome in. Yeah, I explained. I have already, for those people that just came in, I have already explained a few of the self-care art journaling techniques. And I've already explained a few of them. So I didn't want to go, I don't want to, right now there was like these two techniques of the empowering imagery or soothing imagery, different kinds of writing techniques, this drawing line technique for focus, for calming and focus. And it was my first time trying that technique. Right now I'm doing doodling, and how many of you, I have a question for the chat, so tell me yes or no in the chat. How many of you have used doodling, have used doodling for bye Jessica. Bye Jessica. Okay, how many of you have used doodling for calming? Did you that you used to use doodling, or you still use doodling? Okay, my question to the chat, please answer yes or no. Yeah, so Rebecca has, yes, doodling is of course, that's like a very common one. So many people have used. I don't doodle much, as a matter of fact, I don't. You're right, you know what? Thank you guys for answering yes the question. Actually, I don't use doodling that often, but actually because I'm on this live stream and I'm talking, you know, I used to doodle on the phone, like when you had the old phones, remember the old phones? And you'd be talking on the phone, and I would doodle on a paper while I'm talking on the phone. I haven't done that recently. And there's Zentangle. Zentangle is it like an advanced form of doodling? But I'm trying to talk while I do this, and it seems like the best kind of art to do, like while you're talking, because it uses two sides of your brain. It uses two sides of your brain so that when you're talking, it's a scientific fact that when you talk, it's almost impossible to also be doing artwork while you talk. It's actually a scientific fact, and it uses two different sides of the brain. So to recap, I guess I'm not going to work on this page. It is going to be considered double spread, but I'm not going to work on this page right now. Dancing and chewing. Okay, yeah, I know that's a joke. So as a recap, art journaling for self-care, a shout out again to Amy Maricle, who's an art therapist / artist. Her YouTube channel is linked down below. I got some ideas from her. Thank you. This I did a few days ago, and this is Wonder Woman. So doing imagery as a form of soothing yourself, like creating soothing imagery that would soothe yourself, or empowering imagery. That was my goal for creating Wonder Woman, because this past week and this coming week, I'm dealing with a lot of change. Well, they're good changes, as Rebecca knows. They're good changes, but they're change, whether it's good or bad, change is stressful. So I'm dealing with a lot of stress last week and this coming week, and I want to feel more empowered. So I did my own empowering imagery. So empowering imagery of Wonder Woman, my own version of Wonder Woman with my pink hair. Yeah, my pink hair. The what ifs, and then I want to keep this and look back at this. So that is why I'm going to be recording things like weekly highlights. And here's the what ifs. I reversed the negative what ifs and turned them into positive what ifs. What if, instead of what if that happens? What if that horrible thing happens? What if that horrible thing happens? No, how about this? What if it's wonderful? What if it's a wonderful experience? What if everything works out really, really well? What if, yes, there's going to be some stressful times, but what if that experience also has a lot of positives to it? So here I did the positive what ifs instead of the negative what ifs, and then here I did a little cathartic writing. And here, I have more to do on this one, but my thing for this art journal is I want to do different art therapy and calming and self-care art journaling techniques, but also want to have it as a record, just so I can look back on, oh, what were the daily and weekly highlights? What was I thinking? What was I doing? What was I thinking about? But it's going to be art and imagery. Okay, I'll be right back in a minute. I'm going to play my merch, the merch I have available. Yes, I know it. Thank you, Red. I thought maybe that was why. And yes, and I hope to. If I continue this as a Sunday series, which I did in the beginning of 2021, I did have Serenity. I did do 5 or 6 weeks of Serenity. So I did do 5 to 6 weeks of Serenity Art Sundays, and I haven't done it since January 2021, and I'm thinking of doing this again on a weekly basis. Serenity Art Sundays, which is the focus is going to be on meditative art, self-care art journaling. And that's what the focus is going to be on. So I'm glad to hear that, Red. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what I want to bring more of that content to you. Definitely. And let me know what you want to know. Let me know things that you might want to know more about too. Yeah, definitely let me know. Oh, I know what you see. So Lori can relate to me about how change, even when it's good change, could be hard to deal with. It's stressful. Hello, hey all. Check out my new merch. Down below on the merch shelf, you'll see the direct link to all the products. I have 3 different designs of Happy Dance merch. Happy Dance merch is new. Mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, stickers. 3 different designs of
check out my new merch. Down below on the merch shelf, you'll see the direct link to all the products. I have 3 different designs of Happy Dance merch. Happy Dance merch is new. Mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, stickers. 3 different designs of Happy Dance merch. There's a design for Art Star, and there's a design for Creativity is Contagious. And it's right down below. You'll see the products right viewed down below. You see pictures of them. It's called the merch shelf. There's Serenity Studio art designs too. Check it out, 20% off, and the links go directly to the store. Just click on the product pictures that you see right below this live stream video. Hello, hey all, check out my new merch. Down below on the merch shelf, you'll see the direct link to all the products. I have 3.
Yeah, the merch shelf, there's a glitch, so the merch shelf isn't showing, but my link to my merch store, which is Teespring, is in my description box. So, oh goodness. So does Rebecca or Lori, not Lori, Rebecca's following along, and so is Lisa. Do you guys want to talk about what you're doing in your art journal? Can you share with us? Can you just tell us in a few words what you're doing in your art journal right now? Me too. I did a lot of journaling, not art journaling. Me too, Red. I did a lot of journaling, writing journaling, tons of writing journaling in my teens and 20s. And I had so many journals. And art journaling was a new concept to me when I joined YouTube. Actually, I've always kept a sketchbook, but never called it, I never heard of the word art journaling. And so that was around 7 years ago that I learned that from art journalers on YouTube. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Oh, that's great, Lisa. Oh, nice. Oh, nice, Adam. Oh, I never heard of that app. Can you tell us what the name of that? Day One app? You said it's called Day One app? Oh, Lisa's trying doodling. Oh, have you? Day One app. These are Jane Davenport finishing pens. Jane Davenport finishing pens, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and these are permanent. So these are permanent markers that come in 10 different tips, from very fine, extremely very fine point to the largest point. And I only use like these 3 here. I hardly ever use these ones. Yeah, Jane Davenport, she creates so many different art supplies, and I only own some of her stencils, some of her stencils and these permanent marker finishing pens. I have Sharpies. Now Sharpie does come in fine point tips. Sharpie does come in fine point tips as well. I used to think, like Sharpies were just like the big thick markers, but they come in fine tips, and these do not have any smell either. Because you have to, the thing I've never liked about Sharpie is you have to make sure you get the odor-free Sharpie, because those permanent markers smell bad. These have no smell, and they're permanent markers. So if you have any more questions or comments, I don't like fine tip markers that well. I like the fatter kind. Thank you, Adam, for I'm going to have to ask you about what officially scanning a drawing is. I mean, I've never scanned anything, and I know I think it's important to know. I should know how to scan something. So I'm going to have to ask you about that, Adam. So I'm just going to make this a short stream today, because this actually, well, a YouTube friend of mine, she has a party at 4 o'clock. It's her birthday. She has her birthday party today. And I'm probably going to do this next Sunday, but I'm probably going to. Yes, sure. Yes. Lori, I didn't know that till recently either, but Sharpie does come in fine point tips as well as huge. Like I have a huge one, like jumbo, like for marking boxes, shipping packages, like when you're moving, like just huge jumbo tip. But I mean, I have the regular normal tip, and then oh yeah, so next week most likely I'm going to be he should know. Oh my goodness, Davey's the expert, and Davey's my special guest on Tuesday 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set a reminder that it's already scheduled, that the live stream's already scheduled, and he is the expert on these. He does pen ink art. Adam, you would love his work. You got to see Davey's work, his pen and ink work. He creates mythical creatures, beasts, monsters, his own beasts and creatures, and then also ones that already exist, mythological creatures. And oh yes, I use a variety of markers too. Hi, Sylvia. Oh, nice to see you. Welcome in to Serenity Art Sunday, which is most likely is going to be my new Sunday series. We're going to see how this goes, but it's going to start at 2 o'clock next week instead of 3. Most likely 2 o'clock instead of 3. And all kinds of, today, I shared a bunch of different self-care art journaling techniques, and I didn't finish my page yet. Here's an example of finished page from this past week. I work in this like a few times a week, like not every day, but a few, like 2 to 3 times a week. And this was weekly highlights. This is what ifs, positives, the positive what ifs. This is cathartic writing. This is empowered image of empowerment for helping you feel like when you feel so, when I feel a lot of anxiety or fear, one way to help is drawing imagery that is either soothing or gives like an empowerment imagery. And this is Wonder Woman, my version of Wonder Woman. So I guess I'm not going to finish this during this live stream. I'm not going to finish this art journal spread because I did want to add more color to this. I was going to add a little bit more writing because I am going to look back on this and I want to keep a record of like weekly and daily highlights and things that were going on. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm going to play my outro and I hope to see you on Tuesday. Davey JY Art with a Pen. That's Davey JY Art with a Pen. He's going to be my special guest on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can set a reminder because it's already scheduled on my home channel page. Hi, Grayscale. Hi, Anthony. Welcome in. Welcome in. So I'll see you on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also would you? Oh, Lori's Tech Time. Hi, Lori. Hi, Lori's Tech Time. I heard somebody say hi, Lori, earlier, and I thought they were saying Toshiba B because Shiba B's name is Lori. Okay, bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
In my blue striped car, she's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah, I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money, we can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money, we can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. 1, 2, 3,